Okay, I'm trying a new setup. Here's the deal. Let's see, it's Friday. I had a good visit with my family, but I've been trying to give everyone an in-law update. I still don't know if they are still reading the blog or not. I stopped checking my stats a long time ago because it just started to drive me crazy. And, who knows? I don't know. I kind of am hoping maybe not, but you never know. So here is the deal, and I would be interested to know what other people would do, you know, if you were me, knowing everything that you all know about what happened. So as you know, stuff went down, right? Stuff went down, shit hit the fan, and then there was no talking, and then they came and they said that, you know, they had their little intervention with Mr. F. And that was, let's see, the end of July. Okay. It's about to be the end of October. So, July, August, September, 3 months. In that time span, I said to Mr. F, this is it, you know, I'm not going to be managing a relationship anymore. I'm not going to make any phone calls. I'm not going to tell you to call them. I'm not going to buy birthday presents or Christmas presents or do any of that stuff. Like, you really need to own your relationship with your family and be in charge of it, because obviously they don't like me. I need to shut this door, I'm freezing. And even if they did like me, or if they were open to liking me, which we all know they're not, everything that I do is interpreted in a very different light and assigned very different motivations than what are really there for me, and I can't win, you know what I'm saying? So, they don't know, doesn't seem that they realized that I was doing everything. Not that I think that's abnormal. I think a lot of marriages are like that, but I think that their belief that I wasn't doing it was maybe abnormal. I'm not really even sure. But basically, you know, Mr. F would never call them, ever. I mean, I would have to dial the phone, make him call him, remind him constantly. I bought every present. I'd have to remember everybody's birthdays and all the holidays and encourage him to ask about stuff. I'd, you know, have to plan every trip and practically make him go on it and buy the tickets, the whole 9 yards, everything. I almost wonder if on some level even Mr. F didn't realize how much he wasn't doing. So now it's been 3 months where I'm just like not doing any of it. If they call and leave a message, and I get the message, I tell him that there's a message. You know, I don't just like, you know, I'm not like, I'm treating it like it were anybody else, you know. I'm just not calling back or like saying you really need to call them tonight. I mean, he is 40 freaking years old. So, let's see. So, but it does give me anxiety. I do worry about it because I do feel like now when things aren't happening, they're going to interpret that or perceive that as me telling Matt not to do them, which isn't the case. I'm just no longer doing them for him, you know what I'm saying? I really don't think they get that. So I am afraid that this is going to have like a little bit of a backlash, but really I feel up against the wall. Number one, I don't have good feelings now after the intervention, and I don't think that I should or that anybody would, you know. And I did remind Mr. F many times, you know, remember, I'm not doing this stuff anymore, you know. His parents called a couple of times, and he didn't take their call for whatever reason, or wasn't here or whatever. And then I did keep trying to remind, and you know, I was getting caught up in my old pattern, and I was reminding him to call them back, and then I'm like, I just have to stop. It's just not my business. It's not my place, really. Like, he has to own his own feelings and realize that for whatever reason he does not want to call them. You know what I mean? Like, no one is this busy. I mean, that's what he'll always say. He'll always be like, oh, I'm too busy. No, no one is too busy to ever have called their sister and congratulate them on having a baby 5 months ago. No one's that busy. You know what I mean? That obviously there are feelings going on, but, you know, there's only so much I can do. So a birthday came and went, And I did, before it happened, I did, because it was eating me up inside. I did say to him, remember, you're in charge of all birthdays and everything. And he said, I know. Well, he didn't know that he didn't send anything, totally forgot that there was a birthday. So, that's kind of where I'm at. Soon Christmas is coming. Soon kid's birthday is coming. I have no idea if this will mean like there'll be nothing sent to her, which is fine. I mean, obviously she doesn't know or care at this point. It's just driving me crazy because it's just not how I would normally manage. It's certainly not how I manage my own relationships, and it is definitely taking a lot of restraint on my part to just sit with the uncomfortability, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I am assured that they do not think that I would be uncomfortable, and I'm sure that they think that I'm happy to write them off or that that's what I'm doing. I just don't know what else to do. I really feel like they need to either realize what was really going on with their relationship with their son and acknowledge that it's the relationship with their son and it really doesn't have anything to do with me, which is unlikely, as we know. But I also think, just as important, Mr. F needs to realize that these are choices that he's making, you know? So he called them back one time within the last 3 months. They were for a while calling like maybe once every 2 weeks or something. And then a couple weeks ago they called, and then they called again, and Matt never got back to them. And then I've noticed that they've stopped calling. And I don't really blame them, but at the same time, it just kills me to know that I'm sure they think I'm like deleting the messages or not telling him, which I am telling him. That's not the case, and he can listen to them himself. It's just not his priority. So, where am I at? 7 minutes. That's all I'm going to give you. So yes, is this what you would do? I don't know. I mean, what is my alternative? To get back where I was? Really, honestly, people, it would be like this. I mean, this was brought up to my mind because I just had my dad visit, and it was so much better. Because if my dad is here and playing with the kids and I'm in the room watching, because really what else am I going to do? He doesn't think I'm micromanaging or overseeing him. He thinks I'm spending time with him. You know, if they're here and I do that, then I'm micromanaging or overseeing, or I don't trust them to be with my kids. You know, like, their just perception is totally different. But if they're here and I go into another room, then I'm being cold and distant and aloof and ignoring them. So I really can't win, right? Whereas if it's my dad and I go in the other room, I'm busy. You know, it's just like the perception of my motivations is so skewed that I can't get away from it. And I just feel like there's nothing I can do to make the relationship comfortable or to make them like me. And I feel like that's probably the way it will be forever. I mean, because there will be no direct communication, obviously. I mean, why don't they just call Mr. F and say, why the hell didn't you call us back? You know what I mean? Or express their feelings, that like it hurts our feelings when you don't call us back. They won't do that, and he won't say, I'm not calling you back because I'm harboring resentment or whatever. So it's just going to go on, and I just feel like I need to, I don't know, I guess I just need to sit with it. But that's the status. No invites to Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't expect any. We wouldn't probably go anyway, but, you know, there's none of that is going on, so I don't know when they have any plans to see their grandkids or try to work on how that could happen. I don't know. I mean, it is definitely, I can see that it's sad for them. I just don't think I can help them. So, yada yada. That's that. Check, check.